Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Farah, and in today's video I'm going to be doing the New York tag. This is an original tag that was created by Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff, and I was tagged by Pat from Book Chat with Pat. So thank you, Pat, for tagging me. I really appreciate it. If you guys don't know Pat, her channel is absolutely wonderful. She's such a nice, sweet, kind booktuber, and I love her videos so much. Every time I watch them, I just feel happy and warm, and she's just such a great person. So if you haven't checked her out, definitely check out Pat's channel, Book Chat with Pat. She also has the best booktube name. I love it. So this is a tag that talks about New York City. So let's get started. Question number one is, what is your favorite book set in or around New York? So I think I would have to pick, and this might be a little bit of recency bias, but I would probably pick The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Gareth Garrett. I don't know if I said his name right, but it'll be here. And this is a nonfiction book that talks about the events leading up to, during, and after 9/11. And I think what made this book so phenomenal to me was the way it was written. It's an oral history that was comprised of like over 600 different interviews. And it kind of paints this really incredible picture of a really human experience of what it was like to go through that. It was such a moving and powerful book for me. The audiobook blew me away. So that's probably my all-time favorite book about New York City. Even though it was really sad, but it was really moving as well. So question number two, New York is famous for its skyscrapers. What's the tallest building you've been up to? I'm guessing this is the tallest one, but it's the Empire State Building. I'm pretty sure it's that one. Yeah, almost positive. Number three, New York, New York. So good they named it twice. What's the last book you reread? I'm pretty sure it was Ring Shout by P. Djeli Clark. And I originally read this book as a physical book, and then I recently listened to it as audio for a reread that I wanted to do. And this book is a historical dark fantasy horror that takes place in the early 1900s, like 1930s or so. So this book features a zombified monster version of the Ku Klux Klan and this ragtag group of monster hunters that are on a quest to get rid of them. These monster hunters, they feed off of the hatred and racism of other humans, and there's a plot going on where they're going to overtake the world. So what I loved about this is it's really short, so it's a novella, and the amount of world building and character arcs and growth and just elements that combined horror and fantasy, it was so good. It was really good. So this was the most recent reread that I've done. Question number four, American Psycho was a disturbing novel set in New York. What's the most disturbing book you have ever read? That definitely goes to a book called The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is a horror, and it's one of the only horrors I've read, to be honest, and it was so gross. It was so gross and disturbing. And this book follows a group of 5 teenage boys, young teenage boys around the age of 14, as they go on their final Boy Scout camping trip with their troop leader to a remote island off of another island called Prince Edward's Island in northeast Canada. And what happens is that they encounter this man who's been infected with an extremely contagious and dangerous bioengineered parasite. It talks about what happens when they come across this, and the amount of body horror is really disturbing. There's also animal abuse that's really disturbing. So although it was a great story, the coming of age aspect and the kids and their perspectives and relationships was really good and well done, it was really disturbing. So that wins for that one. Question number 5, where were you when 9/11 happened? I was actually sitting in a classroom at the university I was going to here in upstate New York in Western New York. And I remember we were in a lab class just working on our stuff, and our professor stopped the class and he put on the radio and we all listened live to everything unfolding. And it was something that I'll never forget for sure. So I was in my early 20s here in New York State. Question number 6. What is your favorite movie set in New York? This one's hard. There's a lot of really good movies set in New York, but it's really hard for me sometimes to pick favorites. So I will say that You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks will always be a favorite of mine. It's set in New York City. It takes place in a small, cozy little bookstore and around Christmas time. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. I usually try to watch that every couple of years at Christmas time, so that's one of my favorites for sure. But I also really love all the Spider-Man movies that take place in New York. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, Into the Spideyverse. So those are all really good as well. Question number 7. Have you been to New York, and when's the last time you were there? Yep, I've been to New York City many times. It's not that far from me. It's a day trip, an easy overnight trip, and yeah, I've been there quite a few times throughout my life. And I think the last time I was there, though, unfortunately, it has been a while. I think the last time I was there was December in 2020. So right before COVID happened. I haven't been back since COVID. I miss it. I really do. I've had a couple trips planned since then, but they've gotten canceled for whatever reason. But yeah, I do love New York City so much. Question number 8. Who is your favorite painter from New York, or what is your favorite painting about New York? So I'm going to go with my favorite paintings about New York, and I would say this comes from a French painter. His name is Charles Constantin. I forgot his name. But he did a series of commissioned paintings for New York that are just absolutely beautiful. He did one of Madison Square. He did one of the Theater District and one of Times Square. And what I love about these artworks is that there's such a beautiful sense of motion within these pictures, within these paintings. There's a beautiful sort of moody quality mixed with an ethereal essence that I think is really beautiful. And I love how he uses the lighting. I think the lighting's really beautiful. So that would probably be my favorite group of paintings depicting New York City. What is your favorite song about New York? I mean, New York, New York, Frank Sinatra, that's always going to be a favorite. But I also really, really, really love the song by Taylor Swift, Welcome to New York. It's so fun and upbeat, and yeah, I really like that one too. Question number 10. New York is seen as the publishing capital of the world. What is your favorite publishing house? This I have no idea. So I'm going to skip it. I'm not sure on that one at all. And then question number 11. What's your favorite Broadway show or musical? I would have to go with Hamilton. Hamilton is an incredible, it's so incredibly written if you listen to the lyrics. My daughter's really into it. We watched the Disney Plus version of it, of course. But we've been listening to the soundtrack on and for quite a few weeks now, and I can't get over the lyrics. Lin-Manuel Miranda is a genius. He is absolutely an amazing writer. I love his work, all of his works that he's done. I recently watched In the Heights, another musical by him, which is streaming. They made it into a movie, and it is so good. So I would say Hamilton's my favorite. And then it says to tag a few people. So I'm going to tag a few of you that I'm pretty sure are either from New York or live in the area that might be able to answer these questions pretty well. And of course, if I don't tag you, please feel free to do this tag anyway, if you like New York City or you just want to give it a try. So I'm going to tag Mary and Joe from the Book Buds. I'm pretty sure these two live near or around New York or somewhere downstate. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fellow New Yorkers. So I'm going to tag them. They are an amazing channel. They're so funny. Oh my gosh, I love their channel so much. And then I'm going to tag Jay from Faceless Book Reviews. I know for sure he's a fellow upstate New Yorker, so he might be able to have a go at answering these questions. Another great booktuber, he takes nature walks and he talks about the books that he likes, so I really enjoy his channel as well. Then we're going to do Dave and Olive from Book Blather. Most of you probably know them. They're an amazing booktube channel as well. Such a nice, kind personality, and Olive is adorable. And I know they're not New Yorkers, but I'm pretty sure they live close by. They might be able to answer some of these. And then I'm also going to tag Albert from Albert the Conjugator. He's definitely familiar with New York City. He's a fellow Yankees fan, and I know he probably could answer some of these as well. Another really funny booktuber. So definitely check out those channels if you have a chance. They're all really, really good. So thank you so much for, again, for tagging me, Pat. I really enjoyed this tag quite a bit. I love New York City so much, so it was fun to talk about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care, and thank you.